Afternoon Plum here, and last week when I was exceptionally busy and posting no videos at all, I did find some time to go to the War and Peace show, and I was only able to go in the afternoon. I wasn't there like I was last year all day, so a slightly more limited variety of photographs for you this year, but still a real good sampler. Now, where is the War and Peace show? You just saw on Google Earth. I zoomed in on the southeast of England. There it is, the old Folkestone racecourse. Haven't had horses there for years, but it now makes a cracking venue each year for this amazingly large, big, grand, spectacular show of military vehicles and people. It's amazing. Each of those little orange squares is a trader's tent, so you can see how many traders are there. In each of those is a trader selling God only knows. You just have to browse around to find everything and anything to do with World War II, World War One. They're the big ones, of course. And then every other military conflict pretty much in history, going back in history really far. You'll find swords and it's just some weird stuff. Boars' heads, ladies' underwear with SS symbols on, a bear that looks like Hitler with an Alsatian. In the modelling tents, staggering array of Spitfires. They're really beautifully crafted, those little tiny models. There are exhibitors everywhere, big tanks under big enormous tents, and they're more than happy to show you around them. And amongst all the traders you see all the reenactors. Sometimes even a GI's got to take a leak. Speaking of taking a leak, there's food and stuff all over the place. You can really feast well at the War and Peace show and meet and see unusual people, because it's just full of people dressed up in costume, whether it's civilians or military. It's probably 2/3 of the show people there are military, and another third is probably people just being civilians from the wartime eras, and it's fascinating to see. Some of it looks so authentic, so precisely done by so many people. It's a real joy to see. In the showground there's people discussing the vehicles, talking to the owners, etc., which is where we're going to head to next. The showground, I myself and my friend Pete, we went there for 3 o'clock in the afternoon to witness the engagement between the Americans. Here they are, setting up for a conflict shortly after D-Day. I forget which one it was, because over the loudspeaker you never can quite hear clearly. So on the right hand side of the arena we had the Americans, and their main piece of military hardware was the Hellcat. You're welcome, Tango Hopkins. I know it's your favourite. We all know it's your favourite. And on the left hand side of the arena we had the Germans, and they were setting up, and they had a Stug and they had a Pak 47 gun, and there it is getting set up now. And they had a couple of bike riders coming, and this guy came speeding in, tried to be smart and pulled his kind of handbrakey turn effect on his motorbike, and he toppled over right in front of us, and him and his passenger both fell out. There's a guy in the red neckerchief, and to his credit he just got up, brushed it off, and his friend's like, "You alright, mate?" He's like, "Yep, fine." I've just come off my motorbike in front of a couple of hundred people, but I'm fine. And he was the guard on the gate, so where they're setting up this attack by the Germans, by the Americans, and the Germans are all getting set up in their vehicles, and then they spot the Germans coming. It's all being narrated by a guy over the loudspeaker, and they had all kinds of vehicles taking part in this spectacular show that they put on. No video, unfortunately, because I'm better with a stills camera than a video camera. It'll be shaky and the sound will be rubbish. I think pictures are a lot better way to show this. And he was inspecting all the vehicles, talking to them in German. It was so cool. And this guy, I love this guy on his motorbike, and he's got the most amazing beard. Look at that. Such characters. You just walk around smiling a lot. It's that kind of event. Like those guys, they're happy. And I think they're about to get beaten by the Americans. I don't think they know that yet. There was a cool drone recording all the footage from this epic battle. I'm sure that's online somewhere at some point if you search around for it. Maybe if I find it I'll stick a link to it in below. Anyway, the Americans pushed up a bit then, and they were spotted by the Germans, so the Germans opened up with their artillery, took out that old Canadian Ram 2 tank, brought up the Stug, and the infantry, there they are, setting up, and they put their machine gun on the mock buildings that are there to play around. I say play around, I'm sure they're taking it very seriously. And then the Americans started pushing up with their infantry. Both sides kind of pushed with their infantry to start with, but the Germans were slightly more heavily armoured in the armoured division. It's not till later on that the Americans finally decide that they're going to push up with some armour. And to start with, you're thinking, yeah, these Germans, they're kicking the Americans' butts, because very quickly you see the medic from the American army come running over, and he's tending to some very badly injured Americans, and the guns are going off, the machine guns are clattering, the smoke effects are kicking in, and I think the half track in front of us got disabled at one point, and this massive plume of black smoke just came drifting towards my friend and I, and we're trying to breathe, And trying to take photographs, there was no point. I couldn't see anything, just a black cloud. There's our medic friend. I really enjoyed photographing this. It's an absolute joy. Doing it all on a 300mm lens, just like last year. I took one lens with me, my 300mm. It is a zoom lens. I can go a bit wider than that, but for all this kind of stuff, you really want to be zooming in as close as you can to the action. And the Americans then started to get a little bit more gung-ho. They brought in the Hellcat. Look at the guy on the 50 cal. He's like, yeah, this is awesome. And then they actually had some air support. That is a real Hurricane. It's not a model. It was a real Hurricane. It couldn't come too close due to health and safety these days and too many accidents. And the Americans pushed them back and defeated them. After that, it was a quick breeze into the living history area. Like I said, I only had a couple of hours there this year. And once again, Germans were in full force. They seem to, every year, be the ones who occupy the most ground. And some tremendous characters. I don't think I recognise anyone from last year. I'm sure there are many people that return every year. But this guy was fixing his half-track. And once again, sorry there aren't too many pictures. I was pushed for real time on this event. But what better way to end it than with a nice cup of tea. Hope you enjoyed that little snippet of the War and Peace show. I'll surely be going again next year, or if not the year after. Anyway, keep your heads down, drink plenty of water, and I shall play tanks, no doubt, again really soon. Take care.